Nationals Fiction Contest, the House of Anansi Broken Social Scene Story Contest, and the Penguin Random House Student Award for Fiction. His stories have appeared in Riddle Fence, the Danforth Review, and other journals. He lives here in Mississauga with his wife and 2 daughters, who I'm told bailed this evening. And tonight, he'll be reading from his latest published piece called The Difference Between Dollars and Pesos. Adam has the distinct talent of pricking at the mundane. Everyday frailties of people multiply and amplify in his work, and they pulse with new intensity. In this piece, he presses at the pulse of a long marriage and brings into light the familiar tensions of trying to find meaning and vitality when life seems to be drained of those very things. Please join me in welcoming Adam.
So this is an excerpt from this piece, so it may seem to end abruptly. The difference between dollars and pesos. Under their palm-thatched sunshade, shots of welcome rum in hand, Kim held out her phone, snapping selfies of the 2 of them for future social media posting. Look natural, Kim elbowed Landon. They'd scooch their loungers close for the picture. Pretend you're happy. A boy was missing, or so Landon gathered. There'd been a huddle of people in resort shirts at the check-in desk. The hefty, managerial-looking one ushered a hysterical couple into a back room. He spoke urgent Spanish to staff, distributing what Landon swore were photocopies of a passport. Landon quit posing. He and Kim sat in the muggy breeze, taking in that postcard view, that shimmering tropical panorama. Landon looked beyond the resort boys raking seaweed on the shore and the cluster of wading, splashing, boogie-boarding vacationers and scanned the water out by the windsurfers for a floating body. Kim, skin slicked with coconut lotion, backhanded Landon's arm. What'd I tell you? Since their Mexican honeymoon 34 years ago, Landon's experience with tropical panoramas had been limited to midwinter island getaway commercials and his climate change apocalypse Blu-rays. Yeah, totally crisper than 1080p, he said about the view in his I knew this was going to be a disaster tone. It wasn't so much Landon's gloom that bothered Kim. It was how predictably his excessive anxiety surfaced. It took Kim decades to execute a scheme to get the man to take a vacation. And having just settled on the beach, he was already ruining it. Apparently one of the resort people at the check-in desk hadn't been shielding his photocopy. Landon told Kim he'd made out the face of a boy 8, maybe 10 years old, in the little passport photo square, black and white, grainy, faded, like an archived newspaper clipping filed away and forgotten. Too many episodes of that totally real conspiracies show, honey, Kim had said. If they were looking for a kid, it was probably because he stole something. It was best, Kim said, to drink your drink and stare out at the sea. Boys in resort shirts steered a kayak through the mess of tourists in the water. See, they're out there looking for a drowning victim, Landon said, thinking it'd take forever to find a body in that never-ending turquoise expanse. Inland, search parties probably pursued leads on kidnapping and or the kid getting lost amongst the buffet crowd. This is why they'd never had kids. The risks had obliterated the rewards in that ledger Landon had drawn up all those years ago. Top risk, losing the child. I think they're just lifeguards, Kim said, thinking it would have been good if she'd known there were such things as kid-free resorts. Would have saved this stupid conversation. She'd have been a more experienced vacation booker if Landon ever agreed to go anywhere. Exactly, you're supposed to think they're just lifeguards. Landon's unbuttoned floral shirt flapped in the wind, exposing gray, sweat-matted chest hair. Kim tuned out Captain Buzzkill and sucked back her rum, which was what one did when one wanted to keep the peace in a marriage. One sucked back one's rum. She swiped through her selfie haul, trashing the losers. those with unfavorable lighting, unflattering up-the-nose perspectives, and forced-looking facial expressions. Also those with other vacationers snapping selfies in the background. It's the socioeconomic disparity here, Landon said, watching the kayak crew. They're joking, they're laughing, they're non-urgent paddling, which suddenly had him doubting his interpretation of the events at the check-in desk. Was that a passport? He went back to the social economic disparity thing. You know, poor country, cash cow resort, emotion to the boys in the kayak. They're playing it cool out there. Search has to be hush-hush, or they bust the illusion this place is paradise. Kim's sunglasses reflected in Landon's. He was plagiarizing again. He picked up socioeconomic disparity from that horrific realities of two-tiered vision care documentary they'd seen on Discovery. He did this, turning into a fact regurgitator, to cope with being out of his element being the TV room recliner. She wanted to call him on it. She wanted to call him on his years of armchair expert excuses, his fear-induced strategy for avoiding travel, terrorists, pickpockets, bedbugs, Montezuma's revenge, which of course Landon had suffered on their honeymoon. What Kim actually wanted to do, though, was spill the truth. You know, guess what? This isn't all expenses paid. We didn't score Punta Cana tickets from any raffle. $3 grand on my MasterCard, accruing interest. Kim had to eliminate costs from the equation to get past Landon's overarching, we're going to get ripped off defense. Her closing of the deal featured Bacardi, resort brochures, additional Bacardi, and hand-holding by the fire. Kim, seriously buzzed from a welcome shot, suddenly indifferent about roaming charges, pulled up the winning selfie. An angled landscape of Kim frozen in laughter, Landon eyeing her with a look she thought would pass for contentment. A perfect arc of white surf behind them, and posted it to her several social media accounts with the caption, "Finally living a little." This, Kim calculated, would fetch many positive responses, such as the healthy nature of their relationship, and Kim's superior persistence, i.e. prying Landon from the TV, trashing his unhelpful landing gear bloopers videos, and getting him on the plane. Right away, her phone dinged. Comment received. Read, the healthy nature of their relationship. Kim waved over a wandering cerveza girl, which Landon thought was lazy. They sat 50 feet from the Straw Hut Beach Bar. The petite girl teetered under the weight of multiple clinking cooler bags strapped around her neck, shoulders, and arms. She wore a fanny pack labeled tips. Her mashed breasts spilled out of the top of her tight tank top. Landon caught himself staring and turned away, sucking back his rum. The kayak boys came ashore, grabbed some wheelbarrows, and followed the seaweed rakers, scooping up and carting off the unsightly piles. So maybe a kid wasn't missing. Back at the check-in desk, when the hefty managerial-looking one had noticed Landon spying the unshielded photocopy, he smiled, slid his clammy arms around Landon and Kim, and got them their keys and welcome rum. He pulled a wad of Dominican pesos from his breast pocket, peeled off a thick layer, and passed them to Landon. Souvenirs, my friends. Soon after, during Landon and Kim's what Landon thought he saw argument, from the villa suite to the beach, the hefty fellow's voice bellowed from speakers bolted to palm trees. He was dispatching the cerveza girls. "Enjoy, everyone," he said. "Don't worry about nothing. Have a good time." Then some Miami sound machine came over the speakers and a conga line formed on the beach.